want to show you how I would recommend dividing your skein of self-striping yarn to be able to work the slip stitch colorway pattern to make this fun design with the self-striping yarn. So the first thing that you are going to want to do is grab an end to your yarn. And I chose with this pattern, I chose to, instead of pulling from both ends of the same ball, which is what I've done in the past, because these stripes are so narrow on this one, what I was running into is I kept overlapping colors pretty regularly with that. So I decided that pulling from the same direction both times, so basically it will go white, green, blue, pink, white, green, blue, pink through it, and both stripes will do that same color progression. They'll just start at different points. I found that worked a lot better than going A, B, C, D color from one way and C, D, B, A from the other way. They just were crossing over too often. So when you're dividing that, what I'm going to recommend is you go ahead and grab the end of your ball of yarn, and I am using a ball winder just because it goes faster that way than winding it by hand. But if you don't have a ball winder, which a lot of people don't, you're just going to start winding your yarn this way. And because we're going to pull from the same direction in both from both yarns, you don't have to wind a center pull ball. You don't have to pull this ball from the middle. So you can just start winding your yarn that way. And so you are going to grab the end, so you're going to wind your skein into a ball to start with. And then you are going to just pull your yarn, and you are going to kind of pay attention to the color progression. I am going to start winding this up on the ball winder just because it will go a little bit faster than if you're just watching me pull the ball of yarn as we go. So doing it this way will give you a good chance to pay attention to what the color progression is, and that's going to be important as you decide where to get started with. So you are going to pull your yarn. You see that it goes, right now it's that navy blue, and this works with any self-striping yarn that you're using. It doesn't have to be this exact colorway of this exact yarn. So it goes navy blue, and then to pink, and then to teal, and write it down if you're having a hard time remembering. And you'll notice that they're not all the same length, and then it goes back to the green again. So green, white, navy blue, and the navy blue seems to be the longest section, pink, teal, and I am going to choose to end it at the teal section right here. So I'm going to get it to the end of that teal section, right to where it changes to green. And when I cut my yarn, you can see where it goes from one to the other. I'm just going to cut it right in between there. So this one starts with green and the other one ends with teal. And so when you are using your two balls, let me grab the one off the ball winder. When you're using your two balls of yarn, you've got, this one goes green, white, blue, pink, and this one goes green, white, blue, pink. So these are both wound the same direction. That means since I want to work through the same direction, I either want to start in the middle for both of these, or I want to start from the outside for both of these. And it doesn't matter which one you do, just make sure you do it the same way for both of those. The next thing that you want to think about is I really liked the look of the toe and the heel being a solid color and not switching, and then having the color switch here. So the way that I actually did that on this one, and the exact same way that I'll do it on this second sock, is I started with, I'm going to do the toe for this next sock as green. And so I started the green here. I knit with the green from the middle of this ball until I ran out of that green, and then I joined the green from the middle of this ball and knit with that until I ran out. And then I would go ahead and cut the yarns, and I would start pulling from the outside of both of these. And you just want to make sure that you're starting where the colors are not overlapping. So if I'm going to pull for this sock, starting from the outside of both of these, this one is going to start white and then go to green, and this one is going to start blue and then go to pink. So you're probably not going to have issues where the colors are going to catch up with each other. You're kind of right halfway in between the color progression in here. So I think that that's a good way to get started.